Hello, neighbor. How you doing today? This is Chizoba Katie, and you're listening to Novels and Bits podcast. We're starting off with a new story today. This is the Shatter series by Tahereh Mafi. This has been all over Book Talk, Instagram, everywhere for years right now. And, a while ago I picked it up and I read the first book and I was like, I don't get a hype around this. It's not really my thing. I dropped it. This was like over a year ago. Then a year later rolls around and I saw this opportunity on YouTube. I didn't quite get it, but okay, this good thing came out of it. I was supposed to write a demo script on it, so I had to go reread it. And on reread, I was hooked. I'm like, yo, this is great. I love it. So although I did not get the opportunity that made me reread the book, I'm like, the opportunity is I get to tell it to you. That's so clever, ain't it? Anyway, so this is going to be told in a much more summative version than I usually tell. So I may not be able to get into all the jokes and all the, little details, but this is still going to be fun, right? Because the channel, they're much more summative. I mean, I summarize in at least 2 hours or so when you combine all the parts. But this channel is summarizing all the story in 15 minutes. So you can get the chop that they chop off. So I was trying to imitate that. I'm still not as summative as they are, but this is quite short. Let me just start it off, okay? So Shatter series, we start the story by seeing Juliette. She's been locked for 264 days in a cell run by the re-establishment. She hasn't spoken a word in all those days. Then she's told she'll be getting a new roommate. Actually, cellmate, because she's in a prison. Actually, they call it an asylum, where they keep mental cases. People who are nuts, crazy. Now, new cellmate turns out to be a boy. He has dark brown hair, blue eyes, cotton jawline, and his mane. He takes her bed, her pillow and blankets, and all she has right now is the floor. He's trying to make conversation though, claiming, I'm not gonna hurt you. She'd be psycho if she believed you. The following day, she's awake while he sleeps, and she's looking out the narrow window to the world outside that's no longer the same. She doesn't know how much has changed because she's been in this place for so long. But it just keeps occurring to her, I've been dreaming of this white bird with streaks of gold like a crown atop its head. White bird with streaks of gold like a crown atop its head. She wants to see that bird, but this is a world where birds no longer fly, okay? But somehow she's clinging to that hope because she's dreamt of this bird for 10 years and she has no idea what that means. In fact, where I am in the book, that mystery hasn't been completely solved, although they've mentioned it a bit here and there. I just finished a third book, okay? The following day, she's awake. 2 knocks signify their breakfast has arrived. She knows it's always terrible, but she also knows, okay, I still have to eat this food so that I can still be the shell in this body breathing, even if I have nothing to live for. I don't know why she's clinging to survival, but okay. Anyways, she knows wait before you touch that tree because it's always too hot. She has so many scars on her tiny hands to prove that lesson. It's sad. Now, the new guy, this her new cellmate, he seems familiar, like someone she used to know. Now, he touches her, and she's not been touched in 264 days. She misses contact with someone else, but she doesn't say. Instead, she tells him, you can't touch me. Mind you, he didn't touch her directly. He touched like a cloth or something, touched her through the clothes, and she just went out, you can't touch me. Because apparently, dead things happen when people touch her. It's why everyone turned their backs on her, including her own parents, and she was brought here. Poor sad baby. Later, the door to the cell swings open. For no reason at all, it's like, boom! And he's like, yo, what's happening? And outside of it is pure darkness. It's not like a lit hallway or anything. It's darkness. She knows what's going on. So she leads cellmate, basically has him grasp the edge of her, dingy, ratty t-shirt and like hold on to the edge. And she now leads the way to the dingy bathroom that, oh my gosh, I don't want to imagine how it looks like. And they only have 2 minutes to shower without getting themselves all that wet because it's not like there's a towel or anything. It took her 3 months in her own filth to finally learn what it means when the door to the cell swings open. That it means go bait because no one is teaching you anything here. You have to figure it out yourself. When they return to the room, she's cold because, nothing, no towel or something. And she might actually catch pneumonia. You get, normally when she comes out from the bathroom, she wraps herself in a blanket. You get, but the cellmate is with her blanket. However, suddenly he covers her with both his and hers, like both his and her own blanket, returns her bed to her, and introduces himself to her as Adam. So, with her bed to giving back to her, she climbed into the mattress and falls asleep for the first time in 24 hours, utterly exhausted. Later, Adam apologizes for treating her like crap. Adam is a new cellmate. Get that. He thought everyone in here is mentally deranged, but she's not. Either way, she doesn't like sleeping. She avoids sleeping if she can because the screams at night wakes her up. People here are always screaming and their bones sound like it's breaking. But from what? Is it self-inflicted or otherwise? She wonders if she's the next person that kind of fate is going to come to. She tries to return Adam's blanket because, like I said, he wrapped her both with his own and her own. But he takes it from her, the blanket, only to wrap it around her tighter. And he now smiles at her. And this is the first smile she's saying in 265 days. He's topless because this is night. She can sense through the shadows. She can see he's not wearing his shirt. It's not like she's seeing his bare chest or anything. And he now tells her that he's burning up. And at once, she's worried about his symptoms. But she's careful not to touch him so that she doesn't hurt him, right? Because her parents stopped touching her the minute she started crawling. She was isolated from other children at school. She's never had a friend before. But Adam tells her, hey, I'm fine. It's not anything. He now asks her name. She finally tells him, Juliette. The way he says her name, as if he's amused, as if he's entertaining, and as if it's a delight. In her 17 years, it's the first time any person is saying her name like he's saying it. It's also the first time she's talking to a boy her own age. This is a cold day, which Juliette normally prefers. There's another day in the cell. And Adam is now asking her, hey, what's the time? And she doesn't know. It doesn't matter what day, month, year, or century it is. Seasons aren't even set in stone anymore. It's a dystopian universe where the animals are dying, birds aren't flying, crops are hard to come by, flowers almost don't exist, the weather is unreliable. Winter can suddenly become summer and vice versa. It used to be that, when all of these things were just like happening to the world, okay? People were just dying off at this alarming rate. So the establishment they now entered into the picture and said, hey, y'all, we have a solution for you. It looked so promising because the world was a mess. Animals were eating anything to survive, including poison. And humans were in turn eating poisoned animals. And you get. So when the establishment came into power, and because people handed it over to them like, yo, these people have a solution. Instead of things getting better, they got progressively worse. Yes, it's true that humans, they're in better health condition and all. But a lot more people are shut down daily, more and more. 4 months into the reestablishment's regime, Juliette was locked up in this asylum. Adam informs Juliette that, look at how it is outside there right now. The inhabitable land left in the world where they say that people can live in, those land areas have been divided into 3,333 sectors. And each space is now controlled by a different person of power. So the establishment claims they're saving society. They want to restore peace. And part of doing so is they're silencing all voices of opposition. They're destroying every remnant of human history, claiming as humans and as a race, we need to start over and we cannot make the mistakes of previous generations. See, if people are going to repeat a mistake, they don't even have to read the story to repeat it. They just repeat it. It's just like this cycle people naturally just walk into. In fact, knowing history kind of even gives you an idea. This is how this whole thing started. If I keep going this pattern, I'm going to repeat that. So let's avoid it. But by destroying it, people will just repeat the same pattern. So that's not even logical, but hey, okay. It's been 2 weeks since Adam and Juliette started sharing a cell. She scribbles into this journal. She normally shoves into a crack in the wall. Later, we'll find out that she actually stole that journal from one of the doctors. Because before she was placed in this asylum, she was actually taken away from her home and everything she knew since she was 14 years old. She's currently 17, so it's been 3 years. And she's only been in this cell 265 days or so, which means she's been in here less than a year. For those 2 years before she was brought here, she was shuffled between detention centers, doctors' offices, psychiatrist's wards, just shuffled before they're like, yo, there's nothing we can do for this babe. Let's put her in asylum. She's crazy. She's coco. She's gone. I'm really glad for the point that the story has come to where I'm at. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. Please hang on. Juliette has this journal that she stole from the pocket of one of those doctors, and a pen she took. The pen's even broken right now. But she used to ration her ink usage, and she used to just enter into the journal, write words. Those are the things that just helped her preserve a bit of her sanity. Adam comes to sit beside her on the bed. I now told her, oh, you're writing. Oh, that the establishment, they plan to destroy English language to create one language, all the world we use. Juliette doesn't even realize it, that she's shaken. Because she doesn't realize, my God, things are really bad in this universe. It's really bad. So through the layers of the blankets and her thin t-shirt, because he sees her shaking, he now rubs her back and talks her close to his side. She welcomes it, like, yo, worms, a human being, until she doesn't. She now backs away from him. She now starts, you can't touch me, but you can talk to me. And he now fires back, what if I want to touch you? And she can't say why he can't touch her, because she doesn't want him to become scared of her. Also, she's finally remembered him. They went to the same school for 7 years, and she hasn't seen him in 3 years. She could never forget him, but it seems he's already forgotten her. Juliette senses Adam too is keeping secrets from her, about how he's here, why he's here. But he's not going to tell her. And it's not like she's talking much either, so maybe it's better this way. We all just get to keep our own secrets, okay? Then suddenly, one day, 5 men with rifles, soldiers, they swarm into their cell. And Juliette is so shocked, she forgets how to move. They seriously wound her. They're kicking her, head-butting her with the gun and stuff like that. And she's not even screaming or begging. She's just hoping, well, if this is how death has finally found me, please come soon. Let's just finish this all really soon. 2 days later, she opens her eyes in another cell. The first thing that even comes to mind as her eyes fly open is, I hope Adam's alive. But it turns out he's actually a soldier, because with another soldier, they lead her rather harshly to a room where a young blonde man, who can't be all that much older than Juliette, is. And this guy has emerald green eyes, sharp jawline, and a commanding, dangerously calm voice. And then he makes a proposition to her. He's in charge here, and his last name is on his label. Warner. Warner wants Juliette on his team because they're in the middle of a war and she is a moving, breathing weapon. Juliette hates him on sight though. His cocky grin, his youth, how he sent Adam to be her cellmate. Why? As a final precaution to make sure she isn't volatile and at least she's capable of human interaction. Now Warner is telling Juliette, hey, if you're on my side, you'll be rewarded. Juliette, she has no intention of cooperating. Then, they now do something. They assign Adam to be her personal guard, that if you don't behave, he's gonna shoot you. Now, Adam dons on black gloves. He has to wear black gloves so that he can touch her if there is need. He leads her outside. And this is the first time Juliette is outside in almost a year. She's led to a tank car. The roads are vacant because only one company in the world sells cars now, and it's so expensive. Okay? The re-establishment deceived the world. This is now a world that only the strong can survive in. The sick and old must be done away with. Very futuristic thinking. Worse, there's no more holidays, religion, art, or anything. This world is terribly boring. Who wants to be here? And this world, their establishment is claiming, hey, all the things we're doing is because we are trying to instill self-control in people. Juliette is brought to a building that is so camouflaged it looks ordinary on the outside, but it's actually a headquarters. Inside is so tastefully decorated that it breaks her. Because she's like, this is money that would have been better used on medical aid, clean water for children, and food for the masses. It's Adam who has to lift her away from this breakdown thing that she's doing there because other soldiers are like, So he brings her to a tastefully done room, her new accommodations. There's an adjoining bathroom and a wardrobe decked out with fancy clothes. Juliette is expected to change and join Warner for dinner. Adam is going to be moving in from the barracks to here to keep an eye on her. There are cameras everywhere in this room except in the bathroom. It seems like something Adam wants to tell Juliette in the bathroom. But the way she's reacting, she's so afraid when he brings her to the bathroom as though, he wants to finish her off here in this bathroom. So the way she's behaving, he swears and he leaves her alone. So Juliette really doesn't want to. But she can't resist baiting because, this is like clean water I've not seen since when last did I see this? So she cleans up and she's feeling so clean. She also really doesn't want to, but she checks out the clothes in the wardrobe. They're all so beautiful and perfectly her size. She's afraid to look in the mirror, afraid of what she'll see. She hasn't looked at herself in the mirror for like almost 3 years right now. Yeah. So Adam rejoins her in the room and he does a double take when he sees her face. She's mostly been hiding it before now in the cutting of her long brown hair. But then Juliette refuses to wear any of the clothes in the wardrobe. Adam takes her to dinner, where she's the only female in attendance. I don't know why females are so scarce here. She's seated beside Warner, and Adam is seated across. She refuses to eat or drink anything, although she badly wants to. I mean, she's starving. She's really skin and bones right now. Warner, what he does is, he takes out a gun, like the psycho he is, he shoots at the meat. The meat is, you know that thing where they shoot something in the movie, and that thing is now smoking from the smoke of the gun. He didn't even look at the target before he shot at it. He could have actually shot a person. He now looks at her and said, eat, or your life is not going to be easy. So Adam takes a plate, he piles food on top of it, places it in front of her, and then with his eyes like, please now, please now, please now. Like his eyes are like saying, please now, eat. She does. Now, my own personal commentary. Girlie, I get you're trying to be brave, but if you want to change the word, break into the system, and you need food and strength for that, duh. Now, Juliette wants to know what Warner's first name is. He now says, okay, let's make a trade. His first name in exchange that she shows him what she can do. She refuses. Like, no, you can't be asking me to do that. Like, touch somebody, hurt somebody. No. So he now orders the soldier to touch her. The soldier has no choice because it's orders. She tries to prevent this, but it happens. And the soldier is now screaming in agony while she's getting pleasure from it and feeling alive. Like, when people are shouting from the pain that she inflicted on them, somehow it feeds her energy. And it makes her feel disgusting, like she's a monster. You get. So she manages to push the guard away from her, the soldier, and cries that they should get a doctor, She now passes out in Warner's arms. He's gloved and covered from his neck down, protecting himself from her. Later, Juliette wakes up in his bedroom. He's urging her to eat, but she's yelling, monster, you made me torture someone. You only want to use me to kill. He reminds her he's pretty good at killing all on his own. If not, how could his father put him in charge of an entire sector? What? His father? Okay. Well, we'll find out. Anyway, he promises he's not going to make things easier for her. And like the crazy psycho he's proven to be, he's not going to let her go either. Juliette doesn't expect to, but she ends up sleeping like a baby in Warner's big bed. In the morning, he walks her back to her room. They pass double the amount of soldiers she's seen previously, and all the soldiers are armed to the teeth, yet look like they'll pee in their pants at the sight of her. Juliette doesn't want this, but Warner sneers at her, disgusted by her naivety. She doesn't understand survival. As far as he's concerned, he's like, girlie, you need to understand survival. And they hurt Adam because Adam is moving around like, something hurts in his body. So she knows instantly that it beat him up or something beneath his uniform. And the reason why he was punished, Juliette refused to wear a dress to dinner with Warner. So Adam is going to be the one who bears the brunt of her disobedience. She now makes up her mind that, no, to protect Adam, I have to play the role of a mannequin, so that he doesn't get hurt because of me. Adam now points out, hey, wear this specific dress, this popular one. So she yanks it from the hanger and her journal falls out. Quickly, she sneaks into the bathroom where there are no cameras. And underneath her last entry in that journal is a handwriting. It reads, it's not what you think. So apparently, Adam did not just bring her journal from the cell. Because remember when the soldiers attacked suddenly, it's not like she had time to grab anything, right? So it was Adam who grabbed that journal, kept it here, and somehow snuck it in here for her. And he wrote in there, it's not what you think. Oh, okay. Because she's been thinking, he betrayed me. So one night he's accompanying Juliette somewhere, and as his manner is, he is talking. He is yapping and yapping. He's always talking. And Juliette is like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? Can't you shut up for once? Because of how he's acting like a jerk, she now tosses, your poor mother. Immediately he's like, what? What do you know about my mother? She's like, no, I was meaning it as a joke. You're acting like a jerk. And normally when somebody's acting like a jerk, they'll be like, your poor mother asked, my mommy did not raise you well. That's what I was trying to see. He has her thinking, possible mommy issues. Anyway, like the bipolar patient he is, he quickly gets himself under control. Checks back to all cool, cold guy. And then he brings her to an exit and says, welcome to the future. And that's an exit to the outside world. Juliette is unbelievably happy to be outside. She admires the sun, feels the wind in her hair. She takes a deep breath. One night smiling at how much she's enjoying this. Like, yo, okay. But he lets it know, well, we're in serious business though. 50 lines of soldiers are formed 50 feet below because apparently these are sort of rooftops. Like they have levels to these things. The soldiers, they form this perfect imitation of an orchestra controlled by a maestro. That is, they step back like robots. They bend one knee, they turn. It's this perfect choreograph. Yes, they acknowledge Warner, later Juliette. Then Warner calls out his soldier that was apparently caught with rebel civilians. The soldier doesn't deny it, and Warner shoots him in the forehead. Bow! Without any hesitation. Juliette can't move. She can't believe that this just happened. Warner drags her away from there, and she keeps stumbling because she's so thin and she can't keep her balance. She needs to eat more, but always ends up eating little or not at all. Because Girlie is used to starving, she doesn't even recognize when she's hungry. She pushes him, calling him bad. He pushes her back and cradles her face, saying, life is a bleak place. You gotta learn how to shoot first. Something like that. That's what he says. He now calls what she can do a gift, but she firmly calls it disease. Juliette is screaming in her sleep. The soft bed isn't helping. And because Girlie loves hardship, she's used to it, she slides to the ground to sleep on the floor. But Adam is sleeping on the ground. That's even how she finds out, like, yo, you've been sleeping on the ground since. In the morning, she enters the bathroom only to come face to face with him. He turns on the shower at full spray so that no one can overhear. In this relative privacy, he admits that, I can touch you. On the first night at the cell, I touched your face and nothing happened. I wasn't feeling pain or anything. He wraps his arms around her waist and pulls her close, proving it further. He makes a promise. I'm gonna get you out of here. Also on his chest, his bare chest, she finally sees that bird, the white bird with golden streaks like a crown atop his head. It's a tattoo. Now, this is another day of Juliette being difficult around Warner. She's wrapped in an olive dress that exposes a lot of skin she's spent most of her life covering up. The people who bring in food for them, they look thin and unwell. Warner is trying to reason with her and is now saying, can't you see I'm giving you a chance that no one else will? Your family treated you as if you had leprosy, reported you to authorities and want nothing to do with you. I can help you make them pay. Warner's convinced that if Juliette decides to finally play along, she would have fun. Like, yo, I'm trying to, let you have a chance at life here. Why can't you see I'm trying to help you? So he also says, it also helps that you're alarmingly beautiful. Like, this could be so fun if you actually cooperated. That's what he's saying. Juliette has a strong urge to look into a mirror and confirm it. The whole I'm alarmingly beautiful thing. Warner's 19 years old. He's 19 years old. I mean, his age comes out. And he's pretty damn cocky about his success at such a tender age because he is young. He's just 19. So we have officially gone halfway through the story, and in the next episode that will likely be coming out either next week Thursday or so. The reason I'm not releasing as often is I actually want people to listen to these things, okay? For now, we'll stop here. And it really, really gets exciting because if you're following along on my stages on my stories, I'm like, look at all the fun things, anticipate the fun characters. Yeah, it gets really fun. But right now, is that beginning part that is like, what the heck am I reading? That's why you should let me tell it to you and also let others come in so I can tell it to them. Let's get through the hard parts together and get to the fun parts much more. All right, so I'm gonna see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Bye.